Ever since I can remember, skateboarding games has been one of my go-tos for gaming. I've been gaming since probably around 1991 and didn't really start getting into skateboarding games until I would say like 1999. First game being Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, kind of the staple point of when skateboarding games got popular. And that game was really innovative in its day. The system of hitting a button to do certain tricks, the overall graphical system back in the day, it doesn't look good now, but back in the day, that game was in its prime. Skateboarding games have been around since Atari, and I got my start on video game consoles on the NES when I was a child, and you know one of my first games was Super Mario Bros. Slash Duck Hunt cartridge with the light gun, and I never really got into skateboarding games. Unfortunately, back in the NES days and in the Super NES days, and even further on till then, it wasn't until I got my PlayStation One back in 1998 is when I really got into skateboarding games. Going back further in time, you got games like Skater Die from 1988, Skater Die 2 from 1990, and then further up, you got Street Skater from 1998 and Thrasher Skate and Destroy from 1999. Now, while those games were pretty innovative in their ways, nothing really compared to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And, until this day, the only thing that's stepped up to it is the Skate franchise. Now, the Skate franchise has been one of my go-tos, hands down, one of my most played games or series of games probably in existence. Huge Skate fan from the get-go. Um, once I figured out they had a different tricking system and ways to control your character, it was game over for Tony Hawk. I was a big fan of Tony Hawk 1 and Tony Hawk 2, and then I kind of fell off Tony Hawk 3 and beyond. I didn't really play any of those games at all. But Skate, man, Skate was just it was prime, man. I remember going into Skate 1 and experiencing the Flick It system for the first time, and it was an absolute masterpiece. And moving up to Skate 2, they introduced things like building system. You could drag different items around and build stuff in the city. And I believe you could even get off your board back then. Also, another innovative game. But I would have to say my most played Skate would be Skate 3. I spent hours and hours and hours playing that game, and no skateboarding game can match up to Skate 3. It was just an absolute gem of a game. The multiplayer modes in that game were just top tier. One of my favorite multiplayer game modes in that one was I think it was called Own the Spot. I honestly forget what it was called. It was game mode where it stuck you in a lobby with like six other people, and each person would have their chance to do a run and see how many points they could get. And that was one of the game modes that I spent most of my time on. And not seeing it in the new Skate kind of bummed me out, honestly. And that kind of brings me to, what I wanted to talk about. Skate 4. Skate 4 kind of didn't really come into existence until the community pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where we eventually got Skate. And I think it was around like 2017 when the community really kind of started ramping up their petition to really get this game going. EA had no plans on bringing back another Skate game. While it was like a cult classic that we had for Skate 3, um, and we had a dedicated fan base for it, it wasn't bringing in enough money for the board members of EA to really be amped up on it. 2017, 2018, 2019, up to 2020, I think eventually they really see the potential that, this franchise could actually make them a lot of money. And, they saw that, and with the rise of Fortnite and microtransactions and things like that, they plan to make a Skate MMO, and that's kind of what we have today with Skate 4. Uh, a lot of people are actually really pissed off about it. A lot of people saying that this is ruining the franchise. This is not the Skate that they wanted, but overall, I'm a huge fan of Skate 4, guys. I'm sorry. And all y'all Skate 4 haters out there, you guys are insufferable as hell, man. Like, half of you guys never even got into the play test. You just take one look at it and you judge it based on the graphic system, which I don't even mind, honestly. But the game itself is an overall improvement from Skate 3. Like, I'm gonna go out there and say it, like, and I just don't know what y'all are hating about, to be honest. And me personally, uh y'all probably gonna be down in the comments fucking blah, 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 blah. I'm excited to go into the store and see what they got for sale in there. See how I can customize my guy. The customization in this game is great. Like, you can pimp your guy out with like Vans shoes, different different type shirts, different types of like branded clothing. Like, I've never seen anything like this in a skateboarding game up until this point. And if you ask me, I think it's great what they're doing, honestly. I loaded into the game. I was kind of on the fence about it. But once I experienced the improvement in the controls, like, it was game over after that. I spend hours inside of the play test. For the past 2 months, I got into the first wave back in July. I think it was like the first week of July, 2025, and man, it's obviously it's a pre-alpha. You need some work. There's bugs and things like that. But I was super impressed with what they had laid out for us so far. And when they updated the game and pushed it into early access, you've seen improvements in the graphics, improvements in the movement, things added into the game. So it really seems like they are passionate about this project. Now, don't get me wrong, in the past, EA has obviously, had their letdowns and stuff like that, but I truly think that this game could possibly be one of the best skate games there ever will be. And nothing will come close to it. Not Skater XL or Session or anything like that. And, to the people that are on the fence about it and actually are hating on it and haven't played it, I suggest you guys give it a go before you even judge. It is probably the funnest game I played in a while. And considering, the scene in competitive shooters and the shit show that's going on there, nothing else really has me interested to continue in the competitive shooter scene. It's getting dry, it's getting stale. Black Ops 6, it was fun. But they just went in the complete wrong direction with it. And Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7, they are making you secure boot your computer, which is super intrusive on your system. I get that they're trying to stop hackers, but I really don't think this is the way they should be going about it. For one, you can brick the shit out of your motherboard. Casual gamers generally don't know how to do any of that type of shit in BIOS. They're going to lose a lot of their player base. And, there's just nothing that really interests me on that front of gaming right now. I'll sit there and I'll sit down and I'll want to play something and I'll scan through my computer, look for things to play. And I find myself just sitting there, just being like, what do I want to play? What do I want to play? It feels like everybody is in what I call game limbo. Um, it's kind of just a word that I made up. Generally, what it means is there's nothing really out there to play. There's not that one game that everybody gravitates towards, and you always have something to hop on, and you're instantly in. There's instantly homies there ready to grind. It just gaming's kind of felt pretty stale lately, and getting back to skate kind of has really brought back that excitement for gaming for me. I've been having a lot of fun on it. Anyways, that's generally what I wanted to talk about. I haven't made a video for a while, so wanted to hop on here and say what's good. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next video.